Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. Hope you guys are all doing well. So the season is over. Manchester United were knocked out of that Europa League semi-final against Sevilla, and we're all licking our wounds still. But now is the time when everyone turns their full attention to the transfer window. Now, we've already heard a lot of rumblings about the players that could be coming into Manchester United and joining the club during this transfer window. But there's also a whole host of players who could be leaving Manchester United to make way for some of those players and to raise funds so that Manchester United can spend a little bit more on the squad and free up that space in the squad. So in this video today, we are going to give you over 10 players who could potentially be leaving Manchester United in this transfer window. Alexis Sanchez has already completed a permanent move away to Inter Milan. We finally got rid of his wages off the wage bill, which was great for Manchester United. We've also got Tahith Chong, most of his wages off the wage bill because he's joined Werder Bremen on a season-long loan. So those are already two bits of business that Manchester United have completed already. Now, another bit of business, and the first one on our list is Chris Smalling. Now, similar to Alexis Sanchez, spent last season out on loan in Italy. Now, Chris Smalling is obviously an experienced centre-half who's done really well out there over in Italy. But he is scheduled to return to Manchester United because Roma didn't agree a fee. So his season came to an end. He wasn't allowed to play in the Europa League. And unlike Alexis Sanchez, who was available for Inter Milan in the Europa League because they agreed a permanent deal with United, Chris Smalling was unavailable for Roma. Now, they are believed to still be within a shout of signing him. Inter Milan are believed to be interested in him. He's even been linked with Juventus, and he's been linked with a whole host of Premier League clubs as well. And it looks like Manchester United are just trying to get the right bid and the right offer in for Chris Smalling. It looks like 20 million will be the bid that finally gets the man. But where will he go? Will he stay in Italy, go to Inter Milan, go stay at Roma, or will he come back to England and potentially play for a few other Premier League clubs? Now, many people say they want him to come back into United, but for me, I don't want to see that. I think we should move on from Chris Smalling. He's gone on and done well. We've gone on, we've not missed him, and I think it's just time to let that go. But Chris Smalling could be one of those players on the move this summer. Another player who's in a similar boat to Chris Smalling is Marcos Rojo, who's out on loan in Argentina at the minute, and it looks like he will be staying away from Man United, despite his agent posting his shirt and the number and all that stuff and saying Man United 2020, 2021. Expect this guy to be leaving Manchester United. United will want to get rid of him off the wage bill. We've seen what we've done with Alexis Sanchez and the kind of deal we've done there where we didn't get any transfer fee. We were just happy to get him off the wage bill. I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar deal go down with Marcos Rojo, or a very nominal fee, 5 million or something like that. He, by all reports, wants to stay in Argentina. So it'll be looking like one of their clubs to buy him now. How much money those Argentinian clubs have available to them. Obviously, Estudiantes is where he's at the moment. Remains to be seen, but this is another player that will likely be leaving Manchester United this summer. Ed Woodward's going to have a lot of business on his hand. We'll probably only make 2 or 3 signings coming in, but we're expecting loads that could be on their way out. And these are realistic too. So you've had Smalling, you've had Rojo. How about their defensive counterpart, Phil Jones? Now, I'm not going to get into the easy digs and all those kind of things because I actually look back at Phil Jones's career with a little bit of sadness. I feel sorry for him. He came to Manchester United. He was so massively rated. He has had good times at the club, but more often than not, them good times have been interrupted by bad form or injuries. And he's not fulfilled the massive potential that he had at the club. Sir Alex Ferguson saying he could have been the greatest player to play for Manchester United. You know, I once said that he'd be United and England captain. There's loads of people with better knowledge of the game than me that were saying he would be a United great and he would be an England great. It didn't go to plan for him, and I'm sure that's very difficult for him to take, you know, mentally and all that kind of thing. But it looks like he needs a fresh start. Now, he's been on his own back at Carrington, working on his fitness and working on any injuries that he has. That it looks like United are just trying to prepare him for a move away from the club. He's been linked with a few Premier League clubs. Newcastle have been one of those names linked with him. But you should be expecting Phil Jones to leave Man United unless he's just going to stay and pick up his wage, which I think would be detrimental to him. You know what I mean? He's probably not going to get the same wage anywhere else, but you need to play football. You're not going to play football at Man United. It's clear that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't trust him. And it looks like Phil Jones could be another one of those players that makes way. And if you get rid of Jones, Smalling, Rojo, which it's not unrealistic, you know, you're bringing in a decent amount of funds and you're freeing up a decent amount of the wage bill for a potential defensive signing as well. Another area of the pitch that we know we need to improve in is the midfield, attacking midfield area, the holding midfield area as well. And we need to improve the squad depth. You know, the players that we have available to us aren't the ones that Ole has been trusting, and for that reason I think some of these could be up for leaving. The first name, Andreas Pereira, his agent's already been speaking about potentially leaving. There's been reports of interest from Benfica, Valencia, various other clubs in Germany, Portugal and Spain, and it looks like Andreas Pereira could be leaving Manchester United. Now there's been talk Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants him to stay. I don't think there's really anything in that talk. I don't think, you know, Ole will want to keep a hold of him. That may just be being said so to keep his price up, or his agent could be briefing that so it makes his player look better. But Andreas Pereira looks like one of those players that's going to leave. You saw towards the back end of the season he wasn't being used at all. I know we used him a lot earlier in the season, but Ole just seemingly lost faith in him. Now it's someone that he likes, but he clearly lost faith in him. Otherwise you're going to be using him more when players are tired. He didn't, and Andreas Pereira looks like another one of those players that is on the transfer list for Manchester United. Another one that's been linked with a move away, plays in a similar position, is Juan Mata. Now we got loads of assists for United in the Europa League. I absolutely adore Juan Mata. He has been linked with a number of moves to Turkish clubs for a fee of around £8 to £10 million. He'll be on a substantial wage. And it's what he wants in his career, because I don't think Ole would be against keeping Juan Mata in the squad. He's experienced, he's been around the block, he's still got that creativity if you need to bring him in, if you have any injuries or anything like that. He's one of the most experienced players in the team, you know what I mean? But what does he want most at this moment in time? Does he want to be playing week in, week out? I'm sure he will at his age. Do you know what I mean? He isn't going to want his career to fizzle out being on the bench. He's not being selected ahead of the likes of Pogba and Bruno. Or even Greenwood, you know, at this moment in time. So Juan Mata will probably be one of those looking for a move away from Man United as well. Fee, £5 to £10 million. But Juan Mata is another one of those linked with a move away. Jesse Lingard also continues to be linked with a move away from Man United as well. Now, you know, I've asked him myself, is he going to stay? He said he wants to stay. Was it your last game at Old Trafford for United against Linz? He said no chance. So it looks like he wants to stay. But I think the situation here could change a lot. Look, if Pereira and Mata leave, I think Jesse Lingard could think, actually, I'm going to stay. You know, the squads, you know, we'll probably bring in another attacking creative player. There's a little bit of room there in the squad. If there's an injury or two, I'll get in. I'll be, you know, he'll probably look at it that way. But if one or two of those players don't leave, if we're signing the likes of Sancho, Grealish potentially, I think Jesse Lingard could get to a point where he thinks, maybe I need to go and be first choice elsewhere. Maybe I'm not going to get as much game time. Again, like I said, Europa League semi-final, he wasn't brought off the bench. Strange decision if you fancy a player, do you know what I mean? So it's clear there that Ole maybe doesn't trust him as much as he wants. He obviously likes Jesse Lingard. He's grown up with him. He's coached him before. But it's a big decision for Jesse to make. I'd love him to stay and be part of a successful Manchester United squad. I think he has it in his locker. But I think as the transfer window ticks on, he may start to look around and think, I need to go elsewhere. You know, a team may come in for him and say, we want to make you first choice. And if that happens, I could see him leave, because he'll fetch a decent fee and United would probably take it as well. So Jesse Lingard's another one of those that could potentially be up for sale by Manchester United. Someone else is Diogo Dalot. Now, I like Diogo. I think he's a good player. But right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's got it locked down there. Left back, Luke Shaw looks like the first choice. Obviously, Brandon Williams has been playing there. He can play at right back as well. Ethan Laird's coming through. Diogo Dalot doesn't look like he's going to get first 11 football. And I believe a player of the quality of Diogo Dalot should be getting first 11 football. He's young, he's talented, he's got great potential. You know, he's up and coming. He's not going to want to sit on the bench at Manchester United week in, week out. He's going to want to make a move. Now, that could be on loan, but it could be permanent as well. You hear about Barcelona, Juventus, PSG potentially being interested in him. And that doesn't surprise me. When he came to the club, he was regarded as one of the best young fullbacks in Europe. And they'll still see him as that because he hasn't done too badly at Man United. He's had a difficult time with injuries. He hasn't really settled. But when he's played, he's showed signs, he's showed glimpses. And I think he's been a good player around the squad. But again, like Jesse Lingard, he's a player that could maybe fetch you 20 million pounds. And if you can get that kind of money for him, you probably take it and invest it elsewhere in the squad, because he's not first choice and he will want to be first choice. And there'll be clubs out there that will offer him first choice as right back, or at the very least, you know, competitive chance to start. And he isn't getting that at United at the minute. So Diogo Dalot could go. So that's 7 players that we've done so far that could leave. You add Alexis, you add Chong, that's 9 players that we could see potentially leaving Manchester United. Now obviously, not all of them are going to happen before you lot start going nuts. I know how slowly Ed Woodward works, but the next one that could leave, has been linked with a move, is Sergio Romero. Now a lot of this depends on what happens with Dean Henderson. So this is kind of like a double bubble. One of these could leave Manchester United this summer. Dean Henderson on loan, potentially back to Sheffield United, or Sergio Romero could potentially leave Manchester United permanently. He's been linked with a move to Leeds and a few other clubs as well. And Sergio's future will depend on Dean's future. If Dean comes back to Manchester United, I believe Sergio Romero leaves. Whilst he's happy to be a United number 2, I doubt he'll be happy to be a United number 3. So one of these two could leave Manchester United, Sergio Romero or Dean Henderson. If it's Dean Henderson, obviously you're expecting a loan deal, aren't you? You're not expecting a permanent deal at all. Talking about loan deals, and another couple of players that could be securing loan moves for themselves this summer are Dylan Levitt and James Garner. Obviously 2 absolute ballers, got great potential, and they're coming through in the academy fantastically well. We saw a few minutes of them in the first team this season, but when you look at Manchester United's midfield, it's a very competitive area. Fred, Matic, Bruno, Pogba, you know, Scott McTominay. It's a very competitive area for Manchester United, and James Garner and or Dylan Levitt aren't going to get as many opportunities in the first team. I think they're too good for 23 level. We need to see them getting first team football. They've both been linked with moves potentially to the Championship as well, and I think that could do well for them. James Garner's been linked with Swansea. I think that'd be a great move for him. Dylan Levitt's linked with a few moves as well. So these are other players that could be leaving Manchester United. Obviously it'd be similar to Tahith Chong or Dean Henderson in the fact that they would be on loan. So there you have it, guys. That's potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players that could join Alexis and Chong in leaving Manchester United either permanently or on loan this summer. Obviously, not all of them are going to happen, but when you break it down and you look at the fact that Smalling and Rojo already played for other clubs last year, surely they're out of here. Phil Jones hasn't played since God knows when. If he can be fit enough for a medical, surely he's out of here. So that's 3 that could potentially join and are likely to join Alexis and Chong. Then Andreas Pereira has already said he don't want to stay at Manchester United. Juan Mata, I think that's a 50-50. Jesse Lingard, I think that's a 50-50. So you're looking at, okay, if Mata and Lingard didn't leave, Pereira leaves. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already. And then you got Diogo Dalot, I think he's likely to leave. Romero's a 50-50. Dean Henderson's a 50-50. So you could have Dalot and one of the goalkeepers, and then Dylan Levitt and James Garner. So it could be a very, very busy summer in terms of outgoings for Manchester United, but we have to match that up with quality incomings, and there will be another video as well on Manchester United's transfer shortlist, and not just Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish, but what other players Manchester United could be targeting for this summer transfer window. So keep it locked to AdamMcKola TV for that. Get your transfer list in the comments below for Manchester United as well. And for now, I have been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out of here.